Frank, you always said you wanted a beautiful villa on the beaches of Thailand. If that's your goal, let's do it in 2021. You always told me you wanted a Bentley. Let's do it in 2021. Frank, you told me you wanted to eat in the nicest restaurants in the world. Let's get that. Frank, you told me you wanted to be healthier. You see, it's not about money. It could be about relationships. It could be anything on the goal setting. And guys, I could do a whole hour on every one of these subjects, whether it's the presentation, the follow-up, or the goal setting. But I just want to shorten it a little bit. I'm short tracking this, but there's a whole process here that you can learn to give you success in this business. But goal setting is important, or else nothing else happens. The next thing we need to do is write a list. And writing a list is so important, guys. So important. And what I find out is lots of people don't even write their list. And the reason they don't write their list is because they've got 1,000 names or 5,000 names on their phone. If you have 5,000 names in your phone, you don't ring them, there's no structure, and it never happens. Because if that was the case, you'd already contacted everybody about Daisy, and I know you haven't. So the important thing to do is to empty your phone and write a list in your diary of everybody you want to contact. And what I suggest you do, I suggest you write a list of 1,000 names. Okay? If you write a list of 1,000 names, the next thing I want you to do is prioritize the top 100 you want to share this business with. Prioritize the top 100. Oh, this guy was in Amway, he'd be great. This lady was a teacher. She'd be fantastic because she can teach people how to do stuff. This guy is brilliant. He has 3 jobs. He has his main job. He does a little bit of taxiing at the weekends. This guy is hungry. He'd be great. This gentleman is a coach. It's a basketball coach. He'd be great. And you start prioritizing the 100 out of the 1,000 names. And all you need to fill the front line in your matrix is the magic 3. In other words, if 97 people said no, and you got 3 yeses, you've got 3 people in your business. And 3 people in your business is the front generation of our 3x10 matrix. Imagine it took you all of January to do those 3. If you do that, you are on your way to a fortune with just 3 people. You see, this is why you write the list. If you don't write the list and you told 3 people and 3 people say no, you go, gee, I've asked 3 people, they said no. Wow, this business doesn't work. But the way I do it, the people don't say no because I never told them anything about it. It's not my job to tell them what it's called. It's not my job to explain smart contracts. It's not my job to explain crowdfunding. It's not my job to explain endotech. My job is, Frank, who do you know might be interested in earning more money this year than they earned in this last 2 years combined? Shoot, everybody, Hugh-Paul, everybody. Like who, Frank? Tell me who. My brother-in-law. Who else, Frank? A son of mine. Who else, Frank? Well, me. Well, Frank, I wasn't thinking of you particularly, but tell me this. If I were to send you some information, when will you have 30 minutes to watch it? Tonight at 7. I'll send you the information at 7. At 7 o'clock, I don't send him the information. I ring him first. I says, Frank, are you in front of your computer? He says, no, I'm having a cup of tea in the kitchen. I says, Frank, I was going to send you information at 7. You're having a cup of tea. When could you be in front of your computer? Just send me the link. I said, no. When are you in front of the computer? Give me 5 minutes. Frank opens up the computer. I send him the link, and now I'm in control because he's watching. And I know it's going to last 30 minutes. So I call Kevin. Kevin, Frank's watching the presentation. Are you ready for a call? Kevin is ready. I call Kevin. I join them for the follow-up. Kevin closes Frank into business. I said nothing. It's so easy, this business, if you keep it easy. If you follow those steps exactly, it becomes so easy. Then I find out what Frank wants from the business, his goals, and then I get him to write a list. And then I say, Frank, we want to show the business to 100 people. If 97 say no, you have 3 yeses. The front line of your matrix is full. What do we do next? We follow the system. We show these 3 people to write down 1,000 names. They identify 100 to put on the presentation. If they get 3 in February, you have 9 people on the 2nd generation. Guys, that's a very slow build. 12 people in 2 months is a very slow build, but it's something you're capable of. Every single person is capable of doing that system. And here's why you will fail. I know why some of you people will fail. Because you won't write the first 1,000 names down. That's the first reason you'll fail. You'll write down 20 names and stop. You need 1,000 names. You need to write until your finger is sore. And you'll probably only get 300 names on the list, but tomorrow add another 2. And the next day add another 100. And build that list to 1,000. Then take an asterisk and identify 100. And that's why people fail, because they write the list, but they don't show it to 100 people. Because if you show it 100, you're definitely 100% you'll get 3 to say yes. In fact, that's a very bad ratio. But if it works, use it. Because these guys do the same, and you have 9. They do the same, and now you have the next row filled. They do the same, and now you have the next row filled. If they do the same, then you have the next row filled. If they do the same, then you have the next row filled. So you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in the business. You've got 1,000 in your crowd, and you're a very, very happy person because you showed up today, because you took notes and you actioned the training. So what do you think happens next, guys? Any idea? Simple. Same system. We teach these 700 people to write a list of 1,000, show it to 100, identify 100, and share them the video. And if they get 3, you end up with 2,187 in your business. That's 2,000 contributions, and you get paid on every one of them. What do we do now? Same system. 3 7s is 21. 3 8s is 24, and 2 is 26. 3 1s and 3, and 2 is 5. 3 2s are 6. So the next month of August, they find 3. That gives you 6,500 new participants in your business. What do? Follow the system. 3 1s are 3. If they find 3 people, 3 1s are 3. 3 6s are 18. 3 5s are 15, and 1 is 16. 3 6s are 18, plus 1 is 19. The next month, September, look how many contributions are coming into your wallet. Look at your Tron wallet, because there's almost 20,000 contributions. Why? Because you taught a system in your business. And the last step, if these guys write 1,000 names, identify 100, put them on the presentation, if they only achieve 3, 3 3s are 9, 3 8s are 24, 3 6s are 18, and 2 is 20, 3 9s is 27, and 2 is 29, 3 1s is 3, and 2 is 5. In all September, October, in 10 months, you have filled 10 levels with a system. Month 1, month 2, month 3, 10 months, 10 levels, system, system, system. Systems work. People fail because you won't write the system down. You won't follow the system. Whatever it takes. You see, you'll make very little money in the first couple of months, but that doesn't matter. It's the compounding effect of the system that will drive sales into your organization. And that's what you need to teach your team. That's what you need to take to your community. And if you do that in this pre-build, before this thing kicks off in soft launch, we've done pre-launch, it's finished. We're now doing soft launch, and soft launch starts very soon. And you're in the right place at the right time to action this, guys. It's amazing what is available for you here. So let me finish off. Once you've done the list, all you do is you say to the people, the contacting or the inviting, and that's very simple. Who do you know wants to make more money this year than they made last year? That is the cycle. That's the cycle you need to learn. That's what you need to put into practice. So I hope you find that beneficial. I hope you can employ that in your business and teach the new community. Most of the leaders know this stuff. Many of them aren't practicing it. But if you put it into practice, your team will do what you do. And that's where you're going to get the results. So I want to thank you for joining us, and I hope you find that beneficial. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are part of the Daisy Diamond team. And the Daisy Diamond team is a very special team in this organization, and one you need to be proud of. One you need to feel part of it. You need to become part of it, because it's in a team that things tend to work. A lonely soccer player on his own can't work with it. He needs the rest of the team. He needs the goalkeeper. He needs the people in the backs. He needs the center field. He needs the strikers. It's part of a team, and the same team here. Some people have skills, some people have different skills, and one team coming together, we can make this business brilliant. We have people in your upline committed to provide you with the help, the training, the tools. And that brings people, I mean, that's why people follow football teams. They feel they're part of something, part of a match, part of a society. That's why people join Facebook, because they feel part of a community. The Daisy Diamonds, we want to make the biggest team on the planet. And what I'd like to do is introduce you now to our very own Petra Meyer. This lady is developing the Austrian business, the German business. She's a fantastic lady. She's helped me so much develop our team in that part of the world in Europe. And of course, she's going to build it beyond, beyond, beyond. This lady has a successful career in business. She's amazing. She's got an amazing translator. She translates a lot of the German and Dutch language for me. She's got experience in trading herself. And in fact, she actually follows Dr. Anna Becker in everything she does. She's a big, big, big fan. So it's my pleasure to bring to you Petra Meyer from Austria, please. Are you on the call with us today, please? Please give a testimony to our audience.
Hello, Hugh-Paul. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you loud and clear. How are you?
Thank you. After your presentation, I just want to go back to my telephone and call all the 1,000 people on my list, you know. But yes, I give you a quick testimonial from my side. Thank you for having me on your call. Well, my background is very traditional. I studied building constructions and pharmacy as a young mother. Then I worked my way up to be CEO in a building and trading company and doing my master in general management on the side of this. And after more than 15 years in this position, it was clear to me that I have reached this invisible ceiling where most of the women's career stops, and that my next development, especially as a woman, could only be outside these traditional guidelines. So I decided to step out. This step out took me 2 years and do nothing for a few months. Well, I did not succeed in doing nothing, because outside of the blue, I came into contact with network marketing, and it was love at first sight, because the most important aspects that discipline and diligence lead to maximum success matches with my approaches.
Wow.
And my love for innovative technologies lead me to the world of cryptocurrency and trading, which was and still is a success for me from the very beginning. In the meantime, I set up a club to guide women in their financial freedom, but also many former business partners, which are men too, have joined my teams. They appreciate my special qualities, which is the research before we step into a project, as well as ensuring the flow of information, presentations, translating presentation, and education. And I love to amaze people about these new technologies and talk about the future of these opportunities in relation with starting their own businesses. And especially these innovations about cryptocurrency and trading, I'm very sure that this will take a massive part in our future life. And each of you who is able to be here today, just give your upline a big virtual hug and say thank you, because you girls and guys have joined Daisy at the very first moment.
That's right.
Yeah, and
Petra, you're a fan of Dr. Anna Becker, and do you follow her, or can you give us something why you have confidence in this, maybe?
Yes, I follow Dr. Anna Becker. Yeah, I know Endotech, because you know Endotech, when you are in the trading part, when you're searching for a trading solution, then Endotech always comes on your screen, you know. And Dr. Anna Becker is the most inspiring and intelligent person who have already shown what her company is capable of for this section in the past, you know. And as you say, the past proves the future. Yes, I'm also in contact on LinkedIn with Dr. Anna Becker. She's You're
okay, keep going.
yeah. She also comes back when there are questions. She didn't come back in the last days, but before we had this pre-launch situation, we have been able to talk to her and ask her specific questions. Now, for me, it's very necessary that when the network and a technology company comes together, it should be realistic, all should be real. And with Endotech, we have a proved concept technology. The guys know exactly what they are doing, and they take the power from the network, the wild and the weird people from the network to bring their own business to the next level. And that's amazing and powerful. And I'm sure I don't even know what will happen in the next week and months. Yeah, I think that's very out of my
control
of anything I can imagine. But I only step into projects when I did a really good research. I also have some guys who give me some information, and then I step in. And with this company, I have no doubt about anything.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, I want to thank you for your pioneering work in your translations. I mean, your testimony there in not your mother tongue is amazing, and we want to thank you for everything you do, and we do wish you all the success moving forward. Thank you so much, Petra Meyer from Austria. And that leads us to our next testimony, and that's coming from Yoerik. Yoerik, are you on the call with us today, sir? We'd love to hear from you. This gentleman was a kitchen manufacturer. That is a very, very skillful thing to do, very profitable if you can get into the big homes. He's into IT and web design, software development, and of course, he's also got 21 years experience in network marketing. Yoerik, are you on the call? Just let us know if you're here, sir.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Fantastic, my friend. How are you keeping?
I'm very good. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited. I see a lot of people I know here in the call, so that's good. That's good. Yeah, I started network marketing in 1999. The first company was selling products, soap and so on. So I learned a lot of things in that company, network marketing. But in 2016, I get to know Bitcoin. So I rolled into the crypto world. 2017, I started to give coaching in Bitcoin coach. So when I heard of this smart contract of Daisy, well, it got my attention immediately. And I sat with Rene together and spoke about this. And we did our investigations about it, and we were stunned. we really were stunned about the project. And last week, last Sunday, that was the big day for us. We waited a long time for Hugh-Paul to give the sign to go. So it was a very stressful day, but it's so worth it. I guess Daisy will change the world of network marketing all around, upside down.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you so much. We're going to roll on here. We do appreciate your efforts. And again, thank you for doing your translations for your country. And we have a lot of people, a lot of talent pulling together here. So thank you so much for joining us. And we wish you success in the soft launch, which is coming up very, very soon. And that leads us to our next very, very special guest. And this gentleman is certainly somebody you need to listen to. Renato, an amazing guy from the Netherlands, building enormous business, looking after his team, and he's going to give us a short presentation. Ready, steady, or ready, set, go. Rene, are you on the call with us today, sir?
Yes, I'm on the call. Thank you very much, Paul.
Wow, thank you for joining us, sir. Very, very exciting times.
Yeah, absolutely. I know for sure that maybe for more than 3 weeks, I don't sleep anymore.
I learned how to sleep standing up.
Yeah, standing up, and when I lay down on my bed, I think 3 or 4 hours to sleep, and then I go further, because I think it's the most interesting time now, and yeah, let's going on. So yeah, thank you very much for the invitation, Paul, for this bring everything together. And the first question I have for you: do you know SpongeBob?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember when we are going to launch and everybody are ready to go, and everybody seems like SpongeBob? I'm ready. And that's what I want to teach people. When there is a launch and everybody is ready, everybody seems like SpongeBob. I'm ready. Then you have to launch, and I will subscribe that. Ready is launch. So everybody is prepared for the launch, and then you have the next step, and that is set. And you know the date, the 10th of January, everybody wake up or put on the alarm clock for be on time in the night, and they are ready for the launch, and they set. And the set was buy a package, buy the contribution. I want to be the first. Everybody, I want to be the first. So everybody have this, so the position. And then everybody is ready, set, and they don't go. They don't go. For some reasons, a lot of people, I figure it out, 95% of the people don't go. They seem like SpongeBob. They are ready. They have by the contribution. They have already set the position. And then, wait, just still wait. What's going to happen with Daisy? What's going to happen with my team? I have my position, so I look for the overspill now, and I'm wait. And just wait. And a lot of people are waiting. For me, it's no problem at all. Why? Because when you understand this principle, that means that 5% of the people are ready to go. So my question to everybody: what do you want? Ready to set don't go people? Or ready, set, go people? And that's a question for you, what you gonna do. Are you willing to set up for the 95%? Or are you with the 5% of the people? And when you want to start, a lot of people have no plan. I like your 5 steps also, Paul. With step 3 is your goal planning. What's your goal? Not even your goal in life, but also what is your target? What do you want to achieve? How many people understand the compensation plan? 100%. A lot of people don't understand the compensation plan at all. They have the contribution, they have a position, and they're waiting for the start. And that means when 95 people are still waiting, and you're in the position of the 5%, and you're in a matrix, and you are still here in the 5%, and 95% of the people are waiting for everything. That means that you have an opportunity, a big opportunity. What is that opportunity? People who are waiting, in a moment, the people are going to start the business. And what other people are doing? They are behind you. That means you have a position. It's quite unique. It's very unique. So I want to bring you some goals, how to set your goal. And I was mentioned before for my team already. And how do you set your goal? First, a lot of people know the compensation plan already, and you have 10 different matrices. The first matrix is the 100, the 200, the 400, the 800, the 600, and so on. The other part is the requirements. The requirements, what you must have when you want to reach the next generation. The first generations are 3, and then you have 3, 6, 9, 12. With a contribution of $100,000. 3 people, $1,000. 6 people for 2,000. When you combine this, the matrix opportunity, and you combine that with the requirements you need to reach the next generation, you have a power plan. And I mean a really power plan. When you start your business, with some packages. I prefer that you can start the best way to start with this one. Why? Because then you have contributed €700. That means when you reach that and you start for the $100, you have free with no requirements the earnings for the first and the 2 generations. And you have this, the second matrix for the $200 matrix. You have already that and the next one. So I like to have set goals. When you have your goal, this is your first goal. Buy a package in the 100, the 200 and the 400. It means a total of $700. When you want to earn the money of your first, your second and your third generation, you must have 3 people with a total contribution of $1,000. When you have the 700 contribution with the 3 matrices, and you find just 3 people who can do the same, that means 3 people who wants to do the same is 3 times 700, you reach 2,100. So you have log on 3 people and a minimum of $1,000. That means also that you have directly have the next goal, because 3 times 700 is already 2,000 So when you find 3 people, and that's the funny part of it, when you find 3 people who wants to do the same, exactly the same, then you have already set your goal. The next time you must do that only for 8 times when you want to reach the highest level of what achievable is, and that is that level. So that means when you have done that for 8 times, 8 times find 3 people who wants to contribute $700. 8 times 3 is 24 people already. But what will they do when you find your next 3 people and tell the people the same? You have already 3 people from 700 and the next 3 people times 700. That means you have a total of contribution for everybody and you achieved the next generation. So now's the point that is very, very important, because when the first 3 people wants to follow the system you are setting up, what's going to be do? The 3 people are raised up in the next generation. What that means is you have 3 times 1500. That means 4,500. You only search for 3 people more, and then you have to lock the next generation. And the most interesting part is you can grow your next generations while you find you 3 people who wants to do the same. In the meantime, you reach the value of the need you have for the requirements of the next generation. And when you have also buy your new package, for example, 16, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations free. You are involved in 5 matrices. That means every time you reach your next goal, you have also your earnings of deeper generations. When you do that with your team, you can have reached your goal very, very, very fast. And I think this is the power. This is the power of duplication. This is the power to understand. And I like to give you the advice that you study the compensation plan completely. So, yeah, I want to thank you, Paul, for the startup, and thank you very much for everything. I hope somebody have the clue on it and they understand what you can reach when you are doing this. So back to you, Paul.
Well, thank you so much, Rene. Thank you. And it's amazing that to look at it this way is some people don't even realize how you can find 3 and use the profits to upgrade. This is fantastic. And also, I want to thank you for the work you're doing with the Netherlands team, and that English is not your mother tongue. And even to do a training like this, we really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much, Rene. We'll see you very, very soon. And thank you for joining us on today's presentation.
Thank you.
We're going to introduce you to one of our Daisy Diamonds from North America. It's none other than Toni. This lady has been working in corporate America. She's got involved in internet marketing and, of course, cryptocurrency. And it's our pleasure to welcome to the presentation, Toni. Are you on the call with us today, please?
I sure am. How are you doing today?
We are doing good. Thank you for joining us. I believe you've got some slides you'd like to share, and maybe you tell us a little bit about your success and give our audience a treat today with your presentation.
Absolutely, absolutely. So do you have the screens, or should I pull it up on my screen? There we go. Awesome. Yes. So thank you, first of all, for allowing me to speak today. I'm very honored to be asked to give 15 minutes of some of my background, my information that I want to share with the community. I know that a lot of us come from different backgrounds. You know, I happen to have a corporate America background that made me realize I need a plan B. I am not going to meet my dreams and goals. And I'll go ahead and turn my camera on, sorry. I'm not going to meet my dreams and goals working for corporate America. Great, 9 to 5, no problem, pays my bills, fantastic. But I have big dreams, I have big goals. See this island back here? That's what I want to buy. I want to buy an island. So I needed a plan B. So I was introduced to direct sales, network marketing, internet, whatnot, and I've actually flourished with it. So I have a lot of experience with that, which is a great plan B. And then I was introduced to cryptocurrency. And I've been in cryptocurrency for since 2017. I don't know if I'd say the word expert, but as like some people say, amongst my friends, they think I'm a smart cookie, but amongst other techno crypto heads, I feel like cookie dough. So but I do feel like I do understand enough that I want to be able to share with others. So there's 3 topics I want to talk about today. Number 1 is Crypto 101, just the crypto basics. I want to talk about why we picked Tron, and I want to go over wallet management. So number 1, crypto basics, Crypto 101. The beauty of this platform is that you don't have to understand the cryptocurrency technology to be able to get paid by cryptocurrency. We use the crypto called Tron, which I'm gonna get into just a moment, but you don't have to understand the technology behind it. So don't let that bring any fear into this platform, okay? Don't let crypto make you afraid. A few things that you're gonna hear with cryptocurrency, DYOR, Dior, not Christian, but DYOR, do your own research. That's rule number 1, always do your own research. My research, a lot of times it's going to Google or going to YouTube to find out, what does blockchain mean? What is smart contract? What's cryptocurrency? What's Bitcoin? So please don't be afraid to do your own research. Highly recommend doing your own research. Google it. Google is my BFF, right next to YouTube. That's where I get a lot of my information. What is blockchain? So when you're hearing about blockchain, again, I'm talking high level here. I'm not trying to get too technical on you, but what's blockchain? Because you're going to hear that a lot, right? It's just digital ledgers on a network where everyone can see. It's transparent, so everyone can see what's going on. So there's no middleman when it comes to blockchain. So just know that blockchain is a bunch of digital ledgers that are online. Okay, again, very high overview. I recommend, you want more details? Google it, go to YouTube. There's a ton of information on there. Smart contracts, you keep hearing smart contracts. We're buying smart contracts. It's nothing more than a payment gateway that has code behind it that says who's buying this contract and who's getting paid, because it's a payment gateway. What wallet addresses are getting paid when I buy this smart contract? Okay, and the code behind the smart contract, it's immutable. It can't be changed. So the beautiful thing about cryptocurrency is that it's transparent. You can go to the Tron scan, which again, those who have are already on the platform are probably familiar with Tron scan now. It shows you everything. It shows you exactly who purchased it from a ID perspective, wallet perspective, and who's getting paid from a wallet perspective. The transaction fees, the gas fees, all of that. It's transparent. And the beautiful thing about cryptocurrency is that it's also anonymous. You don't know who that wallet address belongs to. So you can have multiple wallets. You can have a really big wallet, but no one knows it's you. So it's a good thing to be anonymous at the same time. And then decentralized platform. What does decentralized mean? It means that there's no central authority with this platform. Daisy is not a company. There's no CEO of Daisy. There's no management team there. It's decentralized. So the platform itself is sustained through the Tron blockchain, and we have the whole Daisy side, the Endotech, but just the actual Daisy platform, it's decentralized. Just know that it's not a company. You're not going to get a 1099 at the end of the year. So you just have to manage your own business of how you're going to handle it. So let's talk about Tron. Why Tron? You hear so much information about Bitcoin, and you may have heard of some other ones like Litecoin and Ripple and some other cryptocurrencies, but why Tron? Many reasons why Tron. Number one, Justin Sun is the founder and CEO of the cryptocurrency called Tron. Phenomenal gentleman, very ambitious. He paid $4.5 million just to have dinner with Warren Buffett, just so we can talk about cryptocurrency. I mean, he is a very ambitious gentleman who has a lot of plans for Tron, the cryptocurrency. So the usability aspect of it is going to increase over time. It is a ranked top 20 cryptocurrency. Last time I checked, it was like number 14 or number 15, but it stays in the top 20, and it's a very popular coin. Why we're using Tron from a Daisy perspective is because the transactions are super fast. When you send Tron to someone else, within seconds, you have it right away. If you were to send any other type of cryptocurrencies, the popular ones like Bitcoin, it could take up to a half an hour for you to get paid, up to 24 hours actually. So it's a lot faster using Tron versus any other cryptocurrency. And it has low gas fees. When you buy a cryptocurrency, there are always fees. Again, using it compared to Bitcoin, it's pretty expensive when you buy Bitcoin. Tron, very, very low gas fees. So that's another reason why we're using it. And then from a market appreciation perspective, Tron right now is what? Is it 3 cents right now? It's teetering around just under 3 cents and just a little bit over 3 cents. The all-time high was 30 cents. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing is that I believe that Tron is a very strong cryptocurrency, and having it at 3 cents right now with the possibility of going up, the market appreciation on this is pretty phenomenal. So again, do your own research. Okay, so the next slide, because again, my 15 minutes is probably coming up. Something I want to stress to the community who's new to cryptocurrency. Again, we have a lot of different backgrounds here, right? We have people who are from network marketing. We have people who are from the Susu community who like a gifting program. We have some crowdfunders. So we have a lot of different backgrounds on our platform right now. One of the good things about cryptocurrency, but also a challenging part about the cryptocurrency is the whole decentralized piece. There's really no one to call when you have a problem. I don't work for Daisy. I don't work for Endotech. I don't work for Tron. I'm just a participant just like you. I may just be a little bit more passionate about the cryptocurrency side because I love cryptocurrency, but so I do a little bit more research. So, I tend to be a resource for a lot of people, but you can do the same thing. So what I really want to stress, and if you take anything away from my piece of this presentation, is I want you to understand the wallet management, okay? Right now we're using a wallet, a cryptocurrency wallet called Tron Link. When you signed up with Tron Link, you were asked for a name. So, well, first of all, Tron Link works on an iPhone, an Android, and it can also work on your computer using the Chrome browser, and there's an actual extension for Chrome. So those are 3 ways that you can use Tron Link. When you create a new account or new wallet, it wants you to set a name. It has between one.
But I'm only hosting in between bits for dinner.
Oh, hi, hot mic. Okay, set 1 to 14 characters. Okay, so I have multiple wallets on my phone. I have one for myself, of course, Roni Toni. I have another one called Island Money, because this island I'm going to buy one day. So you can have multiple wallets on in your Tron Link wallet. Think of it like your bank account. You can have a checking account, a savings account. You can have another checking account with your husband or wife. So you can have multiple accounts. Think of it that way. So Make sure you have a unique name for each one so you know which one that is for. I'm also on different platforms, so I have different names for different platforms. Remember your password. That's so, so, so important. You have to remember your password. It's an uppercase, one uppercase letter, one lowercase letter, one number, and a minimum of 8 characters. Tron Link does not store your password and can't retrieve it for you. So if you don't remember your password and you don't have the private key that we're going to talk about in just a moment, that wallet is going to be gone. So this is really, really important. Again, for my newbies, people who are new to the cryptocurrency world, I know those who've been in the crypto world for a while know all this. My focus right now and attention is for those who are new to the crypto world, because with the Daisy platform, we're going to open up new doors for so many people. And a lot of them don't even know anything about cryptocurrency, and because they've been intimidated by just the technology. And my point is, you don't have to be intimidated by the technology, but you do have to be careful. You have to use your due diligence when you are dealing with your wallet. So number one, you were asked to create a password. Don't forget your password. Hope I made that crystal clear. Number two, you were given a mnemonic words. Other wallets call it the seed words, but in TronLink, the terminology is mnemonic. It's 12 to 24 words. Sometimes it's typically 12 words, but it could be 12 to 24 words that you were given. Write those down. Think of those keywords as a key to a safe, a key to a vault, because the amount of money that potentially that you can make with this, you're going to want to put this money in a vault, right? So think of the seed words or the mnemonic words and the private key as a key to a vault. So write that down. Your private key, write that down as well. Every account that you have in Tron Link, like if you have multiple accounts, every single one of them has a unique private key. It's that 64-digit alphanumeric code that you see. Write that down. Don't lose that. Guard that with your life, okay? Put that in a fireproof safe. My recommendations, store it in 3 different places. Put it in a fireproof safe, number one. Number two, maybe put it in a bank. Maybe you have a safety deposit box at a bank. Number three, give it to someone you trust, like maybe your mother or father, maybe your son or daughter, maybe your sister or brother, someone you trust that will keep it safe as well. That way, if something happens with one place that you saved it, you have another option. But something else I want to stress while you're saving all this information, do not share this information with anybody. Please, 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 please don't take a picture of it and post it anywhere asking for help. I was on a chat room last week and they were asking a question about how to save it. And they took a picture of their seed words and posted it in the chat room. Don't do that. Anyone asking for that information, they do not need your private key or your seed words to help you with whatever you're asking help for. Guard that with your life. It is nobody's business but yours, okay? I hope I make that crystal clear. So now, again, as I wrap up, you can go to the next slide and I'm gonna show you how to do it. Again, you can go to YouTube, Google it. They will show you step-by-step how to do it. I just wanted to throw in a quick slide of how to do it. So if you're on an Android or an iPhone, when you're in your wallet, click on the word My in the bottom right-hand corner. You're gonna see that first little screen that says Wallet Management. Wallet Management is what you're gonna see if you're on an iPhone. If you're on an Android, it says public something. You have like a public and a private wallet something. It's that first one that says public. When you click on that, then you're gonna get to the Wallet Management screen where you're gonna see the option to back up the mnemonic or back up the password or back up the private key. When you click on one of those two options, it's going to ask you for a password. So don't forget your password. then you're going to get to the screen where you're going to be able to see your mnemonic words or your private key. So please, please, please do that today. If you have multiple accounts, do it all today. If you're using Chrome extension, the screenshots on the right-hand side, you see my Island Money wallet. That's where you're going to be able to click on the little hamburger, as John likes to call it, the little hamburger icon in the upper right-hand corner. That will take you to an option where you're going to be able to see an option that says export account. When you click on export account, you're going to be able to see the option for private key. Yes, in echo, in stereo. Then just click on private key. It's going to ask you for your password. Save that information. Again, if you don't take anything away from my 15 minutes of information, this is what I want you to take away. Okay, we're at, like you're going to hear this multiple times, you're at the right place at the right time. You know, yes, we've had some glitches. It's okay. I just have to read this one thing that I was shared with one of my new cousins, as I like to call her. Her name is Vu. You're going to hear from her in the future. She's going to be one of the presenters for sure. She was working with a couple guys who were trying to get on, and they were coming in at the 10 tier. So like they're spending $100,000, right? And they couldn't get in. She started around 10 o'clock at night. They finally got in around 3 o'clock in the morning. She's like, why are you so persistent on getting in? And this is what they told her. They said, short-term inconvenience does not override long-term benefits. I'm going to repeat that because I want you to write this down. So for anyone who was perturbed with all the glitches that we were having, yeah, get that out of your mind. Short-term inconveniences doesn't override long-term benefits. To make money, you cannot get derailed by startup issues. We are with a startup platform. Remember, it's not a company, but we're with a startup platform. There are going to be problems. That's okay. We're going to look back at this in 6 months from now, a year from now, going, remember when? Yeah, remember when? That's what we're going through right now. Do you want to be part of that remember when conversation, or do you want to hear about the remember when conversation? I don't know about you, but I'm honored and so blessed that I was introduced to this platform, and that I can have that conversation of remember when. So thank you very much for your time and your attention. I'm going to give it back over to Hugh. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Roni. That is amazing and a very important ingredient in today's seminar to be comfortable and to understand the basics of setting up your wallets. Again, the more you frequent it, in fact, if we get a recording of this, very important session to replay and get comfortable with. So we want to thank you for that, Roni. We do look forward to seeing you again very, very soon on another Super Saturday. And thanks for your help in this piece. Thank you so much. We're going to go back over to Turkey now for our very good friend, Mikail. Mikail is a genius at what he does, and we're very, very excited to have him on board the team. So over to you, Mikail. Maybe you can give us a quick, just a couple of minutes, please, because we're out of deck now on what you feel is good about Daisy. Thank you, sir.
Hello, everyone. This is Mikail from Turkey, Istanbul, beautiful Istanbul. And it's good to be here with you, with all the guys. I'd like to share some of my views about the project. First of all, I heard this project from one of my friends. 8 years before, we have been together in one of the meeting of a network marketing company abroad. In a meeting, we met him, and for 8 years, we never broke our connection. And he was telling about some projects. So far, he himself and many of my friends were telling about some projects. Since then, many network marketing projects. I'm little sensitive about those kind of projects, and I refuse maybe tens of projects so far. But when I heard this project from him, then I was excited. Let me tell you why. Because I'm one of the founder of Turkish cryptocurrency website in Turkey, one of the top website for cryptocurrency in Turkey. And I have 5 editors and 2 chief editor keep on working on these news, publishing news, tens of news, 10, 15 news every day. And we have more than 100,000 unique viewers. I'm already in the sector for 3 years. And since that time, I wrote more than 1,000 articles about cryptocurrencies. I know what the cryptocurrency is, and I'm selling ICO companies, bot companies, these exchange companies, the banners, these articles, sponsored articles. I sell them very high, $1,000 for one article per month. These are high, and when I sell those, I'm very sorry for them, because I know that they are not able to earn that money which they give me from what they advertise, because it's difficult. When I realized that, maybe if you are in the sector, so you will know that Crypto Hopper and Free Commas, those two are very popular and international bot companies. I was selling banner to them. One day I told them, why don't you put in referral system into your in marketing? I keep on talking to them by email. I was telling them how to do it because I have network marketing background, and I was a founder and manager of a network company in Turkey, network marketing company in Turkey for years as well. I know the back side, I know the front side. I have done both sides very hardcore. I have awareness about both sides. I told them, you have to put reference system into them, with some levels of income sharing and all. But those kind of people, now I'm learning the development, and I can understand their mind as well. They are not able to understand the network marketing impact, network marketing, brilliance of marketing. So they are understanding. Okay, they are going to give an opportunity to the people sharing their reference link, and by that reference link, okay, they are going to make it like Binance, how Binance get bigger that much because of the referral link. But it was a good company, it was managed right, it was right on the time when the market is booming all over the world. Okay, Binance has been like that, but the similar Binance to one exchange, when it comes today with the same condition, it cannot get that share because it was the right time. It's not the right time. With that small reference opportunity, Binance has been Binance, but it has passed for exchange site. Now, when I was talking to those people, it's been more than a year, my friend came to me and he told, there's a company, they are making automated trade, and they put it into the network marketing. And they combine this with the network marketing, because I know the combination of those kind of sectors. We have been one of the startup, we combined e-commerce with network marketing at that time. So this came to me very brilliant to me, to bring network marketing power with this, because since I'm from startup side, I found startup, and I'm into startups. I know how investors think. First of all, when we are talking to people, when I'm talking to people on the phone, I tell them all my story, why this is the right project, and what are the problems, and how this project is solving those problems. Because if you are an angel investor, venture capital, if startup entrepreneurs are coming to you, you ask them some questions. Please go to Google and Google it. What venture capital investors, angel investors ask to entrepreneurs of startups? Do you know what the first question is? What is the problem your project solve? The problem. You have to think about the problem what Daisy solves. why DAISY is required for today's world. First of all, you have to understand that, and you have to make the people in front of you understand this. And the second question, and these, by the way, I'm into this since 1 week. I know about this project. I'm into this. I set up I founded a website for this. You can check it. It's a good website at the moment. There are too many stuff you can find over there. Too many things you can find over there. daisyturkiye.com. In any language you can view it. And since then, I'm checking. The second thing what I'm checking is team. Because when I learned about this project, when I tell some people start telling me, oh, similar to this project, yet there is this in Turkey, international, this and that. Okay, right, it can be, but that doesn't mean it's going to be successful. For the success, the second question investor ask, which we are now investor for this company. This company is collecting a fund for the improvement of their currently available product. And this is how it becomes in the startup world. Where the startup world, you make a product which solves a problem, which fulfill requirement of people, one kind of thing. Airbnb or whatever you think, these are all solving a problem or fulfilling a requirement of people, a severe problem. And the second question is the team. Investor is going to ask. We are investor here. We have to ask, why this team? Why this team is going to succeed this project? Because some other project can try to solve these problems. But why this team? When you ask this question, you see that, okay, this team is the right team. Because already their expertise in this, their mind is in this, they are into this world, and they are aware of everything in the project. When I was talking to one of my friends here in network companies, he's very successful and he's very experienced in network marketing. I told him, okay, there are some Turkish-based bot and network marketing. There are some companies, okay, there are international. But I told this, the main thing for such a project to be successful is the expertise, is the experience, is the understanding of the patterns in the financial traits, and make them make an algorithm to make a profit by means of a bot, by means of a software program. So this team is, as I see, it's the right team to fulfill that project. Okay, there are many things I can share with you, but I don't want to take too much of your time. My advice to you, concentrate on this problem, team. Why this team? Why this project? For this problem to solve. Thank you very much to everybody. Bye-bye.
Fantastic, Mikail. And I will remind the audience that, again, English is not his mother tongue. And to reflect this gentleman who has a massive cryptocurrency following, he understands the technology, the network, and the team, and he is aligning his efforts with this project. And that was a fantastic testimony, Mikail. I'm very happy you're on the team, and delighted we got you in the group to do that testimony. Thank you so much, sir, and we'll see you again very, very soon. And that brings us to our next testimony. We're going now all around the world. We're going now to another guy, an amazing person, another one of our Daisy Diamonds. This gentleman has ridden a bicycle on the Tour de France. This gentleman is a professional cyclist, or let's say he was a professional cyclist. He still exercises. This gentleman is incredible in this industry, because when you're a professional sports person, very often after the sporting career, unless you're a coach or unless you get onto television or radio, you become redundant. And this gentleman got involved in network marketing after his professional career, or during his professional career. This gentleman is a legend in the industry, none other than Mr. Harry Maier. Welcome to the call, Harry.
Now it's
There's the man with the plan. How are you, sir?
I am fine, thank you.
Good to see you. And again, I remind our audience, This man hasn't got, English isn't his mother tongue, so we appreciate your contribution today, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I come from professional sport. I was 20 years cycling professional. I did Tour de France, Giro Italia, Tour of Spain. I won more than 100 international races. And after my cycle career, I started with network marketing. In my last big network, I built it up in 10 years, 350,000 people. It was a product network. It's very hard work, but it's a good, safe thing. Then I start a little bit with finance networks, but I did not really succeed. And then I say, no, I completely stop with this. I go back in nutrition. Health is important for me. As Peter found me and say, look on this, I just checked some very few things. It's like Endotech. It's a really famous company. And if I had the luck, 2 people what I found, they already worked with Endotech last year. They said me, Endotech saved last year the survive of my company. The profit was Endotech brought to them. And he said the most I become on one day was 20%. And he say Endotech is perfect. And then I say Endotech and then crowdfunding. And the crowdfunding is full in the blockchain, is transparent. Nobody can manipulate something. I say, this is the best what I ever saw. If I not go in this business, I can never look in the mirror again my whole life. And then I started, and the next surprise, positive surprise was, I speak with 10 people, and 9 say, yes, I go in. Just a question, how much? I don't care how much, because when they understand it, they upgrade automatically. So I say it's easy, it's on a high level safe, 100% is nothing, but there is no existing another business on a so strong fundament for having a long time business. And the rest is just we do it and we have fun. And I am not this Mr. Perfect in working. I recruit with emotion and happiness. And the people feel I believe on it. And then I say, listen, this presentation, look on this, look in the internet about Endotech, and then you have only one problem. If you say no, and 1-2 years later, you see our success, then you'll be not in a good position. And when people say no, I say, I don't accept the no. Go in and look. When you go good eating, you pay also $100. And here have $100, and this $300 is in 4 years, I think is something by only 400%. And she had 800 in the last 3 years. Is this $100, well, 50 is in the trading, bring you more than 10,000 in 3-4 years, be doing nothing. And I say, hey, a profit from over 10,000, we just invest 100. If you not do this and it's real, you have no happiness again. And then they said, okay, I go in. Then they study the whole background and they upgrade immediately. And this is I like. Sure, it was a little bit difficult in the last days. All this is fixed. But this is normal when a company brings so many people in that there can be some problems. The problems will be handled. And we can have a very, very good time. One of my people, maybe you can answer with this. One of my people asked me for this, let's say 4 to 8 days. We don't know how long it's really. Also in this time, the days are stopped down. You understand, the 27 day, 26 day, you understand, they lose, let's say 8 days for catching their goal in 30 days. Is this stopped in this time, or how they handle this? We know the 48 hour, they start complete for everyone new, also the old one. This is a very nice and big present for the company, for us to have this hard time. But we also have to find out what is with the days run. Huh?
Okay, Harry, we will ask the founders that, and we will get you the answer possibly before the end of this call. A very good question. The 48-hour rule is coming in for everyone, but a great question from Harry. does our 30-day clock restart, or does it stop before we go again? Thank you for that. So it's our pleasure to welcome this legend in the sporting world, a guy that knows discipline, a guy that knows hard work, a guy that has, you know, he knows what a pace setter is. Because in a race, he has a pace setter setting the time up before the laps to get him conditioned for these long enduring races like the Tour de France. And it's our pleasure to welcome you on the team here, Harry. And we look forward to learning a lot from you, because you're a master of this industry. And it's a pleasure to work with you, Harry. And we'll see you soon. And we get you that answer into the groups as soon as we can. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Great. Thank you for
the pleasure to work with you. The legend, the man that is Mr. Harry Meyer. And that brings us to another sporting gentleman, another guy who has made pace setter. Yes, he is none other than Sascha Radosavljevic, amazing gentleman again, who has already done the pace setter. And this guy has a professional sporting career. We're delighted to have him in the team. This gentleman played for Rapid Vienna. He played in a very, very special game against Juventus. And if any of you know the soccer world, Juventus is one of the largest teams in Europe, if not in the world. And Sascha was involved in a 5-0 game in his favor. He's also built a very successful asset portfolio, and we'd love to hear from the legend again, a pace setter in our community. Sascha, how are you, sir? Are you on the call with us today?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, Paul, for this kind introduction.
No problem, sir. You deserve it. You're amazing.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to congratulate you, Paul. One of the best trainings I ever saw. And also thank you very much to all the other speakers. Of course, I want to thank also my upline, Peter Shaw and Harry Meyer, and also Petra Meyer, who helped me to become the pace setter within 2 days. And on the third days, we only had to do the payments from the beginning. What I can say to you and give advice to all of you, the most important thing is, when you want to succeed, you have to give 100%. And that's my nature. When I start a business, I give 100% or I don't do it. And in your life, you can learn from the mistakes of other people or from your failures. And in this business, we heard from Hugh-Paul, perfect strategy, which is easy for everyone to duplicate. And everyone who will do it like he said, this is also the way I did it, everyone will succeed. If another guy means he has to do it in another way, he will not succeed, because this strategy is a proven strategy. And if you follow this strategy, you can reach everything what you want in this company. My background was I'm a mechanical engineer. I was working a long time for Philips company, and I was also a professional football player. And when I ended my career, 2008, I started with network marketing, and I was always following the rules, what my upline was showing me. And in every network, every business was the same. I was very, very successful, and I break the records, also like here. So I can advise to you, when you follow the instructions, what is given to your upline, you will have 100% success without thinking. Just do it like Paul explained, and you will succeed to the top level. Thank you very much for inviting me for this can speak here, and I wish success to all of you. And this business, what you have here in the hand, backgrounded with a smart contract, is, in my opinion, the best business I ever saw, and also with the best people, which supports us 100%. Once again, thank you very much, Peter, for assisting you, Peter Shaw, and also Hugh-Paul with your presentations and the translation of Petra. Great work, and looking forward to meet you by an event when the Corona everything is over. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and it is a pleasure to have these legends join us today. You see, we have certain a time frame we can offer to this training, and we've selected a number of speakers, but you will find intertwined, what I've tried to do here is bring you testimonies from the real world, from Turkey to Germany to Austria to Canada. We're spreading around the world, and this is phenomenal time. and a time when you need guys to rethink, to restart, to refresh your mind, to put this massive effort in this soft launch period here. Now is the time to rebuild your structure, to strengthen your structure, and to move forward when we get the button for soft launch. So thank you for these wonderful testimonies. Thank you to these legends who have success in this industry, and they keep demonstrating that success again. There is no secret. These guys follow a system, and they follow successful people, and they have success also. And that brings us to one of our last testimonies for the day, and that's none other than another legend. I met this guy about 20 years ago, and I met him on the phone, and it's amazing when I heard his accent. I said, gee, you sound a bit like me. Where are you from? And it was amazing that he happened to live 4 miles from me when he was a young boy. He was a farmer boy who stepped out of his comfort zone. And I thought I was the only guy in my area that did this type of business, but Peter Shaw is a legend. He builds global organizations. He's a monster. He's a pleasure to work with. You'll hear from the tone of his voice. You'll hear with his sincerity. He's there to help. He's organized. He's just a great guy to have on the team. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring you Mr. Peter Shaw.
Hugh-Paul, thank you for your kind words. Can you see me okay on the screen, or?
We can see you certainly, sir. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for your kind words, Hugh-Paul. And yeah, we're from the same sort of stock, you know, country boys. And yeah, I'm just blown away by what I've seen this evening, you know, the contributions from everybody on the team, which is amazing. The skills, the backgrounds, the discipline from, you know, the contributions. And it's wonderful to see the ladies as well. I mean, they're great communicators. They're great at organizing and keeping us on the right track. So I'm so thrilled to be part of this team, working with you really closely. And you're a great trainer, and training for several years, and that was really one of the deciding factors for me to engage with you, was because I knew that base was covered, the systems, the structures, and everybody is really seeing, you know, that as well. And of course that's key, as the other speakers have pointed out, the duplication aspect, because really we're just getting started. You know, we've created a splash, but now we move on, you know, from that splash. And I'm also thrilled. I've heard Frank on the calls, you know, as well, that we've been doing. I've never met Frank, Mr. Frank Varon. And it was quite funny because Frank worked very closely with the gentleman to open the Canadian market in the telecom sector some years ago. I think it was his first venture into the network marketing industry. I actually worked with the same gentleman to open the European market. And when we'd be sitting having a dinner, he'd be always telling me about Frank, what Frank Varon did. So I feel I know Frank, and also resonated with me when Frank was saying he's living in Hua Hin. And I go, I know Hua Hin. I know really well. I've driven around Hua Hin the motorbike. I even own a property in Hua Hin. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to Thailand and having dinner with Frank and just having a wonderful time. And we're building here a team, a community. And, you know, this is just something amazing. I love, you know, the fact that there's no company involved here. So we don't have some, with all respect, some idiots who can screw it up. It's on the smart contract. So, you know, that's that for me was, wow, I got to do this. That saves us so much grief, so much potential, you know, pitfalls, so much, you know, landmines that we can step on and, you know, down the road. So there's just so many boxes, you know, this ticks for me. And, you know, there's not really much I can share with the people, just, you know, rather than my enthusiasm, but maybe one small tip that I'd like to share. And I've been doing this now as I speak. I've been edifying you, been edifying the team. And edification, you know, in network marketing and, you know, what we do is so key, is so important. And I'll just tell you that, you know, a real example here. When I spoke with Harry and I said, look, we need to look at this opportunity. We need to look at this business. And I said, I'm working very closely with this gentleman who's one of the top, you know, performers, producers in the industry, an amazing trainer, one of the best that there is. And we have a great system that we can plug into, because, you know, people like me and Harry in the past have been, you know, it's like they throw the mud against the wall, and like we stick against the wall. Most of the people fall. We've had to figure it all out ourselves. So it was so relaxed and so comforting and so reassuring to know that we could plug into your training, your skills, and your organization, everything else. So when I said to Harry, we got, to look at this, he said, "Who is this Hugh-Paul?" And I told him I edified you. Okay, I will talk with him. And then we set up the call, you remember, and you also, as a professional, without even thinking, you ask, give me a little bit about his background. I told you a little bit about his background. So when we set up the call, of course, I edified Harry, who he is, what he'd done, his background, his discipline, everything else. And then I edified you to Harry, your skills, your background, etc., etc. And then, of course, I handed then over to you. And what you did then, of course, was you edified me back again. And then, of course, you edified Harry. Peter's been telling me amazing things about you, what you've done in the industry and everything else. So when that process is done properly, I mean, Harry, first of all, felt, comfortable. And he was also now that bridge was built. Who is this guy? Who's this? What is his qualification to tell me about this business, this opportunity? I'd already given him the information that when he was receiving the information, he knew and he knows that he's getting it from someone who knows what they're talking about. It's as simple, as that. And that edification process for people now bringing us, the prospects to the Zoom meetings, to the WhatsApp calls is really important, is to create that environment where the prospect knows that they're hearing from the source, they're hearing from the right person. And this is, really, really key to, developing our business. Just makes life easier. And all the, the stuff that we've covered today, if people we'll be covering this again and again. And, I always say, network marketing is simple, but it's not easy. It's like everybody can kick a football. Well, most people can kick a football. Most people can ride a bicycle. That doesn't mean to say you can hop on a bicycle and do the Tour de France. It doesn't mean to say that you can go and, be coming out on the starting 11 for Rapid Wien. No, that's discipline. And it's the same with network marketing. And you talk about, and you mentioned it earlier, also is a very important point. In your presentations, you talk about compounding being the ninth wonder world. When we let the money that's making from the trading, we still let it sit in this compound, but also compounding in the sense of the disciplines that we do day in, day out, and that compounded effect of those disciplines, the simple things, the basics done over and over and over again, leads to immeasurable success. And that is the foundation, the disciplines that we apply here, to what we're doing. And we have to set the tone as leaders. We lead by example. I mean, my sport, as you know, Hugh-Paul, is rugby. There's no holding back on that one. So we're all in, and we lead by example. And there are many analogies we can take, from sport, of course. And as I say, I come from a humble background. As you know, I grew up actually on the Fermanagh-Donegal border at a very small little village, from farming background, and life was tough, as you know, in those times, back. And then I moved to closely, where about 4 miles, as you say, in Newcastle, where you live. And it's not where you come from. It's not where you come from. It's where you're going to. And where we're going to, this is really, it's a journey, it's an adventure. And we have people from all over the world joining this call, people staying up in Asia now to join us, at maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, people from the US, the other side of the ocean. And we're coming from so many diverse and different backgrounds. And I know that Harry is developing a team in Africa, where people may not have the financial resources to contribute to the level that people in Europe and other parts of the world may do. But still, it doesn't matter where you're coming from, it's where you're going to with this journey that we were on. And I'm just so thrilled to be part of this team, that we're working together, Hugh-Paul, you and me. And we're going to have some fun together. We'll have a little bit of we'll be boxing off each other for sure. I know we will, because we're both strong personalities, but that's part of the fun of getting to know each other, and I've had my run-ins with Harry, we've boxed together, and certainly with Sascha, because he's just someone he's just so focused on his goals. And I just admire these gentlemen. It's really amazing to be working with them. And also like to mention, Petra for the amazing contribution that she's making and giving to the team with her organizational skills. As I say, the ladies are so important in our community here with their organizational skills and their communication skills. So I'm just so thrilled to be part of this. And I really, just look forward so much to the next, weeks and months as we really begin to develop this all over the world and have just an amazing success and just keep breaking records, I mean, why not? That's what they're there to be broken. So thank you, Hugh-Paul, for having me on. I just hand back to you now. And I don't want to take up much of people's time. And there you see it, guys, Hong Kong in the background, one of the most beautiful, amazing cities in the world on my picture there. And that's, the lifestyle that we can have. And I've been privileged to be part of this amazing industry and have an amazing, lifestyle, but also the relationships that we build and the friends that we make along the way. And we'll make new friends and learn from each other as we move forward here. So thank you, Hugh-Paul, once again. And I hand back to you. So
thank you so much, Peter, and congratulations on your success in these very early days. And no doubt you're going to hear from this man again. And guys, what you want to do is start building your teams, because when we do another one of these, we want your leaders, your teams, we want the pace setters recognized. It's the pace setter is the secret to this community. And we want to really, you have an opportunity now to get your team pace setter, and we'll feature you in our next Super Saturday. And that brings us to our next speaker, another legend in the industry. And wow, we have our multi-million-dollar earner in direct sales, none other than the remarkable Kevin Latmore. Kevin has been in my teams before, now I'm in his team, and I'm so delighted. This gentleman has worked directly with the founders. He was involved in creating and bouncing off with the compensation plan for the smart contract. He's made such a contribution. This gentleman doesn't sleep. This gentleman works so hard. He's in all of our uplines. He's right next door to the founders. He's part of this Daisy Diamond team. We're delighted to have him on board for his experience. I saw this guy walk on stage to collect a $250,000 bonus. That was his bonus. That wasn't his check. This gentleman is amazing. Put your hands together for our good friend, Mr. Kevin Latmore.
Hey, Hugh, can you hear me?
I can hear you, buddy. I can hear you. I want to hear more.
Fantastic. You're the first person that might stay up longer than me. It's hard to calculate with the time zones, but you go, there's times where you said, man, I got to go to bed. I should have been in bed about 6 hours ago. And then I'd send a message to you about 2 hours later and you didn't go to bed still. So, and I respect you for your efforts. I know you've got a bunch of things on the go, including a family, including, we all had the holidays and stuff. And for you to command such a team of your size all this time and hold everything together through the ups and downs of it all, I tip my hat. It's a pleasure and an honor to work with people of your caliber. And I'm delighted to be introduced to all those great people that you just had do testimonies and stuff too. You've circled yourself with a great group of people as well. So, and that's what I like specifically about our team. It's a lot of winners, a lot of people with diverse backgrounds, diverse reasons for being interested, and we're all bringing a specific skill set here. I really think we're a team. I really think we're a family. That's not just that happy, clappy stuff that you're supposed to say. I find a lot of the other leaders, and it's not a knock on them, are more like internet marketing. They're just sending leads and funnels and emails, which is cool, whatever floats your boat, but I think we've got a lot more cohesion, so I'm happy for that. But I know we're pressed for time, want to pick up the pace. I'll go a little bit quick here so we can get through this, but I think it's important information, especially for the relaunch of Daisy. We accomplished a lot in the first 4 days, and now we get a second chance at it all. And one of the great contributions that I think that I'm bringing to the table was I insisted with Jeremy that we had that 48-hour restart for everybody because it was a little bit wonky for some. And I just thought that would be, while we're putting the system down for a couple of days, let's come back bearing gifts. And what better gift than giving everyone all 10 generations of being able to get paid. So that's going to be really, really exciting, especially for those that get rolling right now. The system's down, but you don't need to be down. Build it on paper and just lay down your royal flush the day we get started. And you can see the title of this slide right here because it's something that I really believe in. People say, how is it, Kevin, that in 4 separate companies, you've been the #1 fastest person to the top level? And in Daisy, I think I was like number 12 or something. So didn't do it, but out of 50,000 people from a dead start, did incredibly well. And I'm just an average guy. I just work hard, and I try to work harder than the others. Not that I'm in competition, but I need to make up for it. Maybe I don't know as many people as some people. Maybe I don't have the background or the database or the educational training of some other people. But I know work ethic is for free, enthusiasm is for free, and most importantly, you see the quote right here, the separation is in the preparation. The reason why some people are making so much more than others is because just like Hugh, he's got a dedicated room to do all his presentations in. Same with me. I focus. We're putting in 22 hours a day. My wife comes and sees me, asleep at my desk sometimes at 6 a.m. It's because I never went to bed. And instead of waking me up at 6 a.m., she wakes me up and I get back on the computer. And I know that sounds crazy and insane, but we want crazy and insane goals to be met and income to be had and so on and so forth. And it's just for a little while. I truly believe a 90-day sprint here of all-out massive action can yield you benefits for the rest of your life. This is a smart contract. It's not like normal network marketing companies where you might have to do it for 4, 5, 6 years. Not that that is very long, but it's all relative. The contract will continue. So if you take it to the next slide, you're going to see what I'm talking about. I'm going to give you guys some big picture, some perspective on how you can join the upper echelon. The door is wide open. We want you guys to come in. We have no secrets from you. We'll teach you as much as you want to learn. There's people that teach you the tech. My focus is teaching you how to view this opportunity and find your point of attack. And this is a simple quote. If you fail to plan, then you do what? You plan to fail. You plan to fail because you forgot to take this simple step of making a plan of some sort. You just got a link from someone, you signed up and you did whatever. And that's the problem. So you can see the next slide. And that's where some people go wrong. They don't have a plan. Right now we have 2-3 days to start over. You want to make sure you're taking advantage of this time. This is not a time to sit back. It's not a time to see what the changes will be. It's not a time to be disgruntled. I love the fact that the back office is closed because it makes it a fair, level playing field. If you want to move higher during these quiet days. Right now, I want to give you guys perspective because I don't think everybody fully understands or comprehends the magnitude of what's going on here. So I Googled and accurately found a few companies that most of you should know to give you perspective on what it takes to be $1 billion company. And some of you already see where I'm going to be going with this. Now, here's some of the fastest growing companies to $1 billion. Google, 5 years. Facebook, 6 years. Netflix, 10 years. Apple, 14 years. Microsoft, 15 years, Disney, 69 years, and IBM, 79 years. I can't believe they're that old. So why do I bring this up? Well, if you know that Daisy is trying to grow a 500 million in contributions, and half the money goes into the comp plan, and half the money goes into contributions for the Daisy crowd fund, then how much did we raise? We raised $1 billion. How fast can we get there? Well, check this out. At the current rate of growth, now this isn't, it's kind of a projection, it's not guaranteed, but this is just basic math. At our current rate of growth, we did don't trust me, get out your calculators, be involved in the process. Don't ever let your upline dictate everything to you. We give you information, you have to parse that and figure out what's good, what's bad, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, what makes sense for you, what doesn't make sense for you. But this right now is a mathematical truth that cannot be disputed. We've been in business for 4 full days. Barely operational, okay? Barely operational. I think a situation that hit our team a little bit harder than some others. We're not super technical. We're not smart contract people. Yes, we've all now learned the back door, but those that knew it before, again, the separations and the preparation that worked against us. Some other teams knew how to do the back door and they were able to keep going from day one while we were in 50% mode. But we're going to be prepared for anything else moving forward. So we've done $50 million, divide that by 4 days, you get 12.5 million per day at this current rate of growth. Now, this is where you go. Do you think we'll grow more? Do you think we'll grow less? As these income stories, as the trading starts, as the excitement grows again, it could accelerate, it could decelerate. All I know is right now, we're on pace to hit $1 billion in 80 days. So, Daisy, kind of in your face statement, but Daisy's a license to print money, and I'll show you why. We've had 30 people in the last 4 days make anywhere from $100,000 exactly $100,000 to $1 million. And I've been very fortunate and blessed to be in that position. But again, I prepared, I studied, I worked, I outworked just about everybody on the team, probably except for the host, right, of this training webinar in 4 days. Now, some people are mad about that. I've been, I stayed to the ground. I stayed with the crowd. Like, yeah, all these guys making all this money. It's no fair. I can't even log in. What's going on? They had this, they had that. Jeremy said something really cool that I'm embarrassed that I missed it. Those of us at the top, right? We have no spillover. I can't believe I even signed up for that. We asked to be at the top. You guys think all the people at the top get all the spillover. From who? Our team put in 1,000 people the first day before Jeremy and Rabu put in their first person. So the computer's not going to give us any spillover. We were growing too fast. We outgrew the spillover, unfortunately, /fortunately, / it is what it is. So I physically signed up and basically by my actions and activities said, give me no spillover. Who does that? But was still able to create something. Now, some of you are going to say, well, that's good for you, Cam, but I need some. That's okay. There's been a lot of good stories for the ones that haven't got it. By the way, my son came in for $500 of his own money. He hasn't gotten a single spillover. His ID number is like number 20,000 or something like that. So I didn't give any preferential treatment and it just falls where it falls. And I have thousands of people I could have gave him some, but it just didn't work out that way because it's a forced matrix and it just is what it is. Spillover was always just something you may get, but it shouldn't be something that you're counting on unless you're passive. And then there's a side of the business for passive people anyways. So let's look at this now. There's horror stories for everybody. One of the other major contributions I helped make to this company was I helped Jeremy work on the concept of the gold Pacesetter. That's where you have 3 personally enrolled Pacesetters, and then you get into another pool. That pool, the first day alone, paid out $63,000. I had 1 Pacesetter, I had a second Pacesetter, and I had a third person who had the volume and everything, but he was 6 or 7 people short of Pacesetter, and he couldn't get them in, back office issues, so on and so forth. So with the volume, all he needed was 6 people at $100, and he would have been a Pacesetter, which would have made me a gold Pacesetter, which would have gave me a bonus of $63,000. This isn't a story about me. I'm just showing, and nobody's going to cry for me. I'm doing okay. But the point is, we all have some level of difficulty, some level of a war story already. Someone in our team lost 40% of his team because his team wasn't willing to wait for things to be ideal, for the links to come out the way they're supposed to come out, and got blinded by some offers and shiny light syndrome from some other teams. He's absorbed that, not happy about it, but moved on. Who would like to lose 200 plus people? Now, granted, these are leaders. These aren't like neighbors in his neighborhood. These are strong people that represent millions of dollars. Some people on our team, one guy lost 5 people to username. Now this guy, check it out. I hate and love this guy at the same time. I hate him because he hurt a lot of good people. I love him because he's a brilliant marketer. When you click copy my link in the back office, it said blah, blah, global, the daisy.global /undefined, meaning they didn't give us our username. Some people were sending that out thinking it was their link, which made no sense, but maybe that's just because I've been marketing a little bit longer. You're supposed to erase that. That basically said your name here. So someone registered and made it your name here or undefined as his username. So anybody that clicked on that joined his team. The last I heard from Jeremy, that person had 68 signups, 5 of which were from our team, 6 of which because another guy sent that out and he had a $102,000 sign up, signed to undefined, who refuses to walk away from that money and come back and join with his friend. Not only did he put in 102 and be passive about it, he's a builder. So he's bringing in more and more and more people. Undefined is making a killing. Again, I hate what he did because he stole from people. But at the other end of the spectrum, you've got to respect the marketing prowess of someone that smart to see that inefficiency and take advantage. Someone had 2 personals upgrade to 102,000, but they were at a much lower level. So at a quick math, right? That's 204 grand total. 4% is about $8,000. I put the asterisk because, the last couple levels, you also get an extra 1.5 or 2%, depending where they are, but just an overall idea. A lot of people lost passwords already, which I think is insane, but it happens. I had one lady, she wrote down her password on some papers. The cleaning lady came and threw it in the garbage. I'm so sad about that. While it's wrong, go on to the next one. So a lot of things are happening. Now, a lot of people feel like, I missed the boat. There's so many people, I couldn't get in. My people couldn't get in. We were getting gas fees and blah, blah, blah. You didn't miss the boat. Yes, there's 52,000 reps. Yes, $50 million has been made, but we're only 4 days old. I'll tell you 2 quick stories because we don't have too much time for it. I joined the company, as many of you know, there was already 1 million people in that business. It was 6 years old. I came in my first 60 days, I passed every single person in that company in terms of getting to $1 million in sales, getting to the top position. Wasn't the top earner by any stretch, but I bypassed them and got into the top 30 income earners in just my second month in business. Frank joined a business that was also about 4 or 5 years old, brought it to Canada. It didn't exist yet. Signed up 600 people over the Christmas holidays for a business that was coming soon. And by the time it launched in March, he became one of the top people in that company, earning several millions of dollars and bypassing the 1 million+ people in that company as well to be in the top 10 fastest growing teams and earners. Next. So more specifically to you. So here's what we got. Let me show you the numbers, right? This is why I don't need upline, I don't need Jeremy. Once you got some data, and you guys can get this all from your back office if you watch things. 52,000 people joined. Okay, that's a decent number, but I just told you, both me and Frank got in business that already had 1 million. We became #1 at some point. But 50 million in sales. Here are the real numbers. The first day we did 4,400 people and 15 million in sales. How do I know that? Well, it showed 7 million in the Daisy crowd. We know 50% of the money goes to the Daisy crowd. That means 50% got paid on the comp plan. That means $15 million. If you divide that by the amount of people, that's only $3,400 only. $3,400 per person. That means the average of tier 5. Since that day, from day 2, day 3, day 4, 47,000 more people have joined. A lot of people are like, oh, they're passing me, they're passing me. No, perspective, math, truth. Since that time, to get to 50 million, we only did another 35 million. Divided by 47,000 people equals an average of 744. The most these people can be at is tier 3, right? Barely. We blew through tier 5. That's 3,100. The next group is barely getting into tier 3. I think it's less than that because I'm calculating everything at 50-50 with the volume. We know it's 70-30 with some of the bigger packages. So best case scenario, they're at tier 3. Most likely, those 47,000 people are at tier 1 and 2, meaning you can bypass them with new people, or if you upgrade, or if you're ready to upgrade when we relaunch ahead of these people. They all got in, but they got stuck. So their loss is your gain. It's still, it's like a marathon, and they're 10 feet ahead of you, 10 yards ahead of you. You're going to make that up over time. Next. So what's the solution? Really quick, use this time to get your 3 people, right? Find 3 people that want to contribute to the fund and get them ready to get started when we relaunch, probably on Monday, I believe. And then help them find 3 people. As a matter of fact, that's the only thing you need to do. Find 3 and help your 3 find 3. And if you really want to be great, duplicate beyond that. So the ideal thing is find your 3, help them find 3, and then teach them to continue doing that. If everybody finds 3, we don't need spillover. We don't need anything, and you don't need to sponsor 30, 40, 50. I guess you do for the levels, but still, just understand the basic premise, right? 3, 3, 3, 3 will make this a monster. I think Hugh touched on that earlier, so we won't go into any further depth. Last but not least, let me just leave you with these parting words. Guys, step your game up. Everyone complains that 2020 was such a bad year. 2020, I lost so much money. 2020, I lost my job. 2020, I lost my father-in-law. Okay, let's have a better year. It's right here, right now. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, not something that I just run around throwing around like every other marketer. This is a disruptive technology. This is the best parts of every company you've ever seen, including the scams. Even a scam has something good, but it's inherently bad. What was that good part of that company? Let's take that out and put it in. Let's throw out whatever didn't work, right? And use the blockchain to keep it all on the up and up. So what I want to tell you guys is stop bringing a knife to a gunfight, right? Undefined, that guy I'm talking about again, or girl, who knows, has poor character, but good business sense. You have to understand that, and you have to believe that to some degree. Safeguard your assets, passwords, your secret words, all that. That's important. I can't believe the amount of people that already lost their passwords. If you plan on making $1 million, why wouldn't you protect that? Roni, Toni told you to put it. Some of you are like, a safe? Who has a safe? A safety deposit box? Who's got that? get one, do something, figure it out. Worst case scenario, maybe it's not recommended. I at least take a screenshot of mine. I shouldn't say that and email it to myself. Of course, it doesn't say Kevin's passwords, right? I have something in my mind. At least I have a hard copy that will always be somewhere. And I write it down, of course. You need a hard copy, and I think a digital copy as well in case you lose that hard copy for some reason. Now, if you're here for passive, then that's fine. Good things around the Endotech corner, right? Endotech has a great history. I was happy to hear the gentleman talk about some of his friends with or without Daisy, saying that Endotech was a great company that he knew about before all of this. That's a true testimony. And if you're building, then build hard and build now. You have a very unique time right here. These 3 days could make or break you. I don't want to say won't break you necessarily, but can certainly make you. And a lot of people are hearing about this. So your father-in-law or people you don't think that will do it are going to. So get them started with you and good things will happen. And again, let's change our attitude. Undefined for the people making so much money so fast or whatever. I like to say, don't down them, crown them. Emulate what they're doing. The secrets are out there. And I want to see each and every one of you guys at the top. Back to you, Mr. Hugh.
Thank you so much, Kevin Latmore. You are a machine of a man, and it just rolls off your tongue. You have all the numbers, everything. It's just amazing. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for that, Kevin. That was an amazing piece, and we appreciate your time, buddy, joining us on this call. And hopefully you'll come back and join us on another Super Saturday. I think this guy's the next legend in the industry. Chris, he's amazing personality. He's always there to help. And the good thing about Chris is he's a team player. He works cross-line, up-line, down-line. He helps wherever he can. And that is what people like. People respect that. They respect that help. And he's helped me on many, many occasions. He's just a great guy. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring you to Mr. Chris Bills, and he's going to talk a little bit now about prospecting and what you can do on Facebook to help you build your community. Over to you, Chris. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome, man. Can you hear me okay?
We certainly can, my friend.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate this. This is an absolute honor, you guys. And, the number one thing that's really helped me through my time of doing networking and all that is you do what they say, you get what they get, right? And I've always followed a lot of people that you actually saw today. I follow the entrepreneurs and the people that do what they're doing so I can get what they get, right? And that's the number one thing to take here and understand, that you've got a plethora of amazing leadership within this, right? And so why are we interested in this? Why do we want to do something like this? And it's because we believe that we belong here into something that's going to literally change the rest of time. I mean, 2020 was rough, and 2021, we're going to knock it out of the park, and that's what we're here to do, you guys. So I'm going to keep it quick and simple. If you want to jump into the slides for me. So obviously, we're going to talk about prospecting and marketing. I've been able to have some fun in the industry. I've learned to do the hotel meetings, the three-way calls, and I've been taking some notes. And with Hugh-Paul really hitting on building a list and using your upline, it's very, 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 very valuable. And you're going to hear and see some of the very similar things that he's talked about, that I'm going to talk about, but a little bit more on the virtual side, right? On the internet side. And I think this can go a long ways by really just keeping it simple. So I'm going to teach you a few ways and show you a few ways on how to gain more presence on Facebook, specifically Facebook, but you can use these different, I guess you can call them schemes or different ways of going about it, techniques on any other social platform, right? So when you're looking at this, I've got so many people within my network who have never had Facebook even 30 days ago. They don't want to blow up their community about, spamming them and all this stuff. And so this is a great way to tackle this piece, right? And so by building a following, you can go right now, create a Facebook and have 0 friends, and that's perfectly fine, because this is going to take you in the next 15 minutes to the steps of gaining not only great prospects and great friends on Facebook, but niche related people who have the same mindset as you, people who want to do what you're doing, right? So as you see on the screen, building a following on Facebook, right? Simple steps. These are the basics to really building that. And I want to go through this. So joining niche related groups. Okay. I've got a few here that can help you. And I talk about crypto groups, right? You can search Bitcoin groups, Tron groups, XRP, Ethereum, all these groups, right? Now, being in those groups, you've now are able to relate with everybody in that group, right? You're in the crypto space. And so by getting into a group like that, you're going to find a lot of like-minded people. Now, you can look up investing groups, right? Obviously, that's not a word we use. We're contributors, but you can look into those groups because those are similar people. Work from home, networking groups, affiliate marketing groups, all of those have such a huge relation, and there's thousands of more, you guys. So you can really understand the networking you can do by just simply diving into a group. So now let's say you've gotten into 4 or 5 groups, right? Not only are you going to learn and build your knowledge, which is absolutely amazing in the crypto space, working from home space, all of that good stuff. So you're not only going to learn, right? That's already a plus in its own. You're going to be able to go and, figure out what to do in those groups. Now, the engaging aspect is huge. And when we talk about Facebook is just as a business as anything else. And we always talk about this part in my groups and in my trainings is you have to feed the beast. Okay. You have to feed the beast. And what I mean by that is you have to give to Facebook before you receive. And what I mean by that is when you go and like and comment and click and watch videos, you're categorized in every single one of those. If you watch a video for 10 seconds that someone posted, you're categorized as a person who watches videos for 10 seconds. It is unbelievable, but I promise you it is the absolute truth. And so when you're in a group, let's say you're in a Bitcoin group and you're liking and sharing on these posts that people are posting, your name's relevant, right? You're popping up in someone's notifications constantly. That's a big plus. We're going to go into that. You give value, right? If you found, so for instance, we saw recently that PayPal, took on the cryptocurrency world and now added crypto. That was a huge piece of news that every crypto guru loved and most likely shared. And that was huge to bring to somebody new, right? I've used PayPal for a long time. Many of us do. And then all of a sudden they're tackling on the crypto world. That's like, wow, that's huge. I have a buddy who's been talking about crypto. Well, let's look more into this, right? So you give value, you post in that group something valuable like that, whether it's just an article that you didn't write, right? You didn't even really research it. You just knew PayPal teamed up with crypto. I'm going to post it here. Now you've brought value to that group. People are going to start liking and commenting on your post. Now you're, making moves in that group. And then you're going to get added by members. You can also add other members, right? And that's going to start to build your following with niche related people. And then when you start adding those people to your group, and then now they're on your Facebook wall, right? They're posting maybe about their family, their friends, maybe about their opportunity that they're doing, maybe about anything else. Show them engagement. Show them some love, right? Show them that, and show Facebook that you're engaging on Facebook's platform. Because what does this do for you? If you were to do this once a day, every other day, however you want, the more you do it, the better. But if you're to do this and start out by doing these simple steps, maybe once a morning or devote some time to do this, you're now liking and commenting, okay? Maybe you plan to post on your own wall once or twice a day. And if you do that, you want to first go and do all this because you give to Facebook before you receive. And when I say you receive, when you go to make a post, you want people to see it. You want people to comment on it, like it, love it, share it, all that, right? But Facebook algorithm is tricky. And you want to be able to give to Facebook, show them that you're giving. And then when you make your post becomes very relevant because of what you're doing and part of the algorithms, right? If you want to jump to the next slide. So while doing this, right, and we're moving over to now you've gained some people. You've jumped into a few groups. You've maybe connected with a few people, however that may be, right? It's really up to you on how big and broad you want to expand on this. So the next things to do is to keep it simple. Now, everything I'm demonstrating and sharing right now isn't the way, it's a way, right? And I think that's very important to understand because these are things that a lot of trial and error happen. And Roni, Toni's on the call. She had a great segment. I appreciate what you demonstrated there. And I talked to her the other day and I said, you know what? We're just trial and error experts. The number one thing, the two top things I always talk about, and you can ask my groups, is use Google, which she highlighted tremendously, and then also press buttons, right? You know, when you're first downloading Telegram, a lot of us are new to Telegram. A lot of us are new to these Tron wallets and Tron Link and all that good stuff. Click on the buttons, learn it, right? So keeping things simple is very important because you don't need to know everything. Like Hugh's talked about, like a lot of the other presenters have talked about, you know, just kind of step aside, let your upline help you out, let your partners help you out. Because when I go to introduce this to my best friend, he knows me. He's like, dude, you don't, come on, really? You're gonna do this? You're gonna make millions in this? Like, I don't see that. And it's like, well, let me introduce you to Hugh-Paul. You know, Hugh-Paul has done this. He's doing this and he's gonna keep doing this. Let me introduce you to him. He'll brighten you up and he'll show you some really awesome things. And so that's a really huge thing, right? So keeping it simple. I've got some little key points here that I talk about and what that means, right? Attention grabbers. This is when it comes to posting on your own wall to grab that attention, right? I typically would throw like a cool video. Now, you guys have all seen the launch video, right? And it was broken up into a 2-minute portion, and then they gave us access to the whole video. Now, that's an attention grabber. It does really highlight Daisy, which is fine, but the attention grabbers I'm talking about are like quick little 10-second, you know, videos that are just like exciting and energetic, and someone's like, well, what's this about, right? Or you post a funny photo or a funny meme and have some decent, you know, description inside of it of what it's related to or something, right? This could be completely relevant to your business, but what you're doing is gathering that audience, right? Gathering people and building that pipeline. That's very important. So other things, right? Use one post that leads into another. You know, I've always done this, and I've done this well. And, you know, I always basically, when I'm about to, you know, launch something or be a part of something big, I let my people know just that. Hey, I'm on to something big. I've been in the works. You know, I've been doing something. I want people to really follow me, and I'll say, stay tuned. And it could be a day or two or a week. And those people, remember, seeing that post, they're going to wait for that new update, right? So you can lead into that. You know, this is another bullet point that can or can't be done, right? It's up to you. I personally don't think it's the best idea to just post all the information about Daisy or the project you're currently doing and then leave your link there. Reason why is because you've left it all on the table. Okay, this person, and typically humans in this world, we're all guilty of it at some extent. We've always said no to something before we even dive in, right? We've already counted ourselves out. Oh, I don't want to recruit. I don't want to do this. But you don't, I mean, when someone says that, I'm like, hey, have you heard of Daisy or this or that? And they're like, oh, do you have to recruit? And I'll say, well, that's where the money's at. You can definitely make some money doing that. And they'll already say they can't do it. And I'll say, well, you've never tried to recruit for Daisy. So you're literally telling me you can't do something you've never even tried to do. So we eliminate that real quick, right? And so by posting your link and all the information, they don't have any reason to come back to you. They can look at it all and already make their own assumptions, and that's what you don't want to happen. You know, don't post company names or platform names. I mean, they can go and do their own research. Now, you can do this. This isn't like you can't do this. It's just my preference, and it's what works for a lot of people, because the whole goal here is to get people to come to you. Imagine you can't even keep up with your inbox of people wanting more information. That's where this gets, I promise you. It's happened for me. It's happened for people who are all over in the world, and I've taught them and they've taught me, and we've seen the results. This is real stuff. So going into that next one, posts need to be attractive. Now typically and statistically speaking, if there's a post on the Facebook and it's a big long script with no photo, typically that could get looked over, right? Having a photo, having a video, having something that looks sexy or grabs that attention, even just for that small second, right? People are scrolling through. You'll see the first few sentences up top. Those are what have to really pull somebody in if you have a longer post, because if you click on see more, they can see more, but you will never be able to see the whole thing unless they click that. But most likely they won't click see more if they haven't been, you know, intrigued from the few words that you posted at the top. So you always see that. It's like an email header, right? You guys have seen them before. They're really catchy, but they bring you in to open that email up. So posting videos, all that good stuff, right? Point and tell actions. You'll see a lot of posts say, click on this video below, and you'll have an emoji saying, click that video, right? Or this, right? Click those videos. You always, you know, I mean, that's a preference as well, but you always want to point someone into the direction you're trying to get them to go, because naturally your brains do that. We'll go right to that piece of attention and we'll click there and move forward. And then honestly, the number one thing that helps me, you guys, and that helps a lot of people out there, is be you, be real. If you aren't a salesperson and then you post on your wall, come and join this amazing platform making millions of dollars, and you don't have to do this and this and this, like, that's all good. But people who typically follow you, they know that's not you. They know that's a little different. And so people would love it if you just said, hey, I've got this amazing opportunity. I don't know how to share it faster than posting it here. I need all my close friends to check this out. I'm just being real with you guys. This is really impacting my life. I don't want you to miss out on it. And then you have that conviction about what you're saying to them and how you're saying it. And you're going to basically be like, I'm going to do this with or without you. So if you come and check this out, take 30 seconds of your time, 30 minutes of your time, whatever that may be, you may never know until you know. And so be you, be real. That's the most important part. Can we go to that next slide? Awesome. So trying to speed through this a little bit, but I do want you guys to really grasp some of this, because this is very powerful and anybody can do this, even a 10-year-old. So I promise you it's good stuff. You will be told no. Okay. 100% of the time, the more no's you get, the more yeses it leads to, right? And that's exactly what's on the screen. The more no's leads to the next yes. People want to be a part of something. And then consistency is key, and building that pipeline. So those are things that I've kind of talked about right now. There's people on Facebook that I've introduced even myself to, or talked about crypto, or talked about Daisy, and weeks later, days later, months later, they may not really want to engage until then, right? But that's where the pipeline becomes effective, is because I did work 3 weeks ago with, you know, Joe, and now he's coming to me because he's now open to this opportunity. You know, I always think of a no as not now, right? Timing is very, very crucial, and you need to understand that and respect that too. If someone says no, just say, okay, well, here's some information. If you want to ponder it while you're, you know, deciding, or maybe you're busy, please get back to me, you know, because we could always use a little bit of oomph in our life to add more value. So on this screen, this is a technique that goes a very long ways, and I want to explain it to where you guys understand it the best. Showing love on Facebook. Now, that may sound silly, it may seem weird, but you do have a like button, a love button, a haha button, a wow button, an angry button. All those actually do something different within the Facebook algorithm. And if you go and heart a post, that's going to boost that post and make it more relevant on Facebook than any other one, than liking, angry, you know, woohoo, all the others. And so this is what we've encouraged our teams to do. And so we actually created a group. You can do it on anything, right? A texting group, whatever. And every time you make a post, you have your community go on there and show some love, encouragement, you know, wow, that's great, or send me more info. And if you see a post that's got some pretty cool things on it, and then there's a bunch of comments and likes and shares, and, well, not likes, hearts, remember, got a heart, to boost up that Facebook algorithm. That's a huge, big deal, right? If I posted about an opportunity, or I come across an opportunity on my Facebook wall and it's got 0 engagement, there's, you know, personally, I know some of the behind the scenes of that, but most people are just gonna be like, yeah, it's whatever. You know, if you buy products on Facebook, or you've bought anything, and it's got 1 million reviews or 1 million views and a bunch of likes and comments, it's probably doing something for somebody, right? So that's the same thing with our posts, you guys. So I encourage you, make groups with your teams, you know, and in that group, you just share your post link, and then your team can go in there and they can click on their post and they can go like, comment, share. We're all going to start seeing this stuff on social media, and just, you know, recognizing people and helping each other out. Go show some love, even if they're not on your team. You simply click the heart button and you say congrats. That's huge with small efforts from you, because it does so much behind the scenes that none of us even know about. So I think that's very special. If you want to jump to that next slide. So this is a great thing that kind of piggybacks off Hugh and even some of the other speakers that spoke. And it really talks about that first kind of initial engagement, right? And how to set up the 3-way calls, or how to set up the 3-way chats. I've even done some of those that I can elaborate on for a brief second. But the simplest way to talk to somebody and really get them to just engage with your conversation. Because we could easily say, hey man, I've checked this out, I want you to see what this is, and you send them a link. You may not know if they're even going to look at that or give you any kind of information from what they see in that post or that message. So I always use this, and I know some of the other leaders have used this as well, is if you have somebody who you want to talk to about this, simply ask them, hey, I'm working on something, I would love your feedback. I respect you. You do this, you do that. You own this business. You do so much. I really respect your opinion and your feedback. Can I share this project I'm working on with you? And you let me know, because everyone loves to give their opinions. We know that. Everyone loves to give feedback, and this could be good or bad, but what have you caused at this moment? Well, now this person thinks that they should think this because you said it, right? And you're being honest about it, but they think that you respect their opinion, you respect their feedback, and people love that. So if you say, hey, can I get some of your feedback on this? I'm working on this project. It's you give them a brief description and then send them, an opportunity recording, or invite them to an opportunity meeting, or you can, segue it into a 3-way call. There's so many ways to go about it. But if you ask that question, you guys, you will get an opinion or feedback. And if they give it the time of day, and they may not watch the video or watch the presentation, with a quiet place and just really focus, but they will grab a few things out of it. And one is an opportunity, right? We all need something extra in our life this year. All of us. I don't care if you've made $1 million or you've made millions. You are also looking for an opportunity to add to your life. You can never stop adding value to your life. And if you do, readjust yourself and rethink and come back and then add some more value to your life. So utilizing your upline and your partners is so crucial. It works so many times. I've even done it in chat groups, right? Where, sometimes if you're doing a 3-way call and they're on, the phone for an hour and you got a prospect there, you don't know what's going on the other side of that phone call. So obviously a Zoom is really good. So you can really engage. Right now during COVID, we can't meet up like we would want to. So even in the chats, if someone uses the excuse, I'm just too busy, I can't get on a call right now. Okay, perfect. Let me add you to a chat, me, you, and my upline, and we can just kind of go back and forth and spitball a little bit here. And then everything you are talking about is actually saved in the chat. So you don't forget steps. You don't forget maybe a link or some numbers or some matrices or any kind of numbers that you can plug in and throw at them, right, on some of what we've achieved so far. So really good opportunity there. I think it's amazing to be able to connect this way. And so I'm going to leave it at that, you guys. I believe that's my last slide, if that's correct. And I just want every single one of you to understand that you have such an amazing opportunity here. In my short time of dealing with smart contracts and everything, I've never once, and I guarantee you every speaker on this call can say the same thing. We have never seen this many leaders, this much talent, this much passion and courage in anything. And I believe with all of our minds put together and our efforts and our passion and vision, we've already got the vehicle. Now it's up to us to do the trainings, to teach our people, to educate them. If they want to do Facebook, great. If they want to do YouTube, great. If they want to do phone calls, great. We've got it all. We've got videos for it, trainings on it. If you're willing to learn, open your mind, and really take it to that next level, the rest is history. Daisy is our history. Daisy is our future. And I believe I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for any of these leaders. So I just appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate the stage, the voice. Thank you to all you guys that spoke so far. This is amazing. And I just can't wait to continue on. Back to you, Hugh.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you. That was wonderful. And again, it gives us a flavor of what can be done online and how to treat the Facebook marketing element of attracting business and attracting clientele to your organization. Thanks a million, Chris. That was amazing. Really, really good session there. Thank you, sir. What I'd like to do now is introduce you to another legend. It's just legend after legend. And this gentleman has been my rock in the business. He's been very helpful. He's on the phone. It doesn't matter what time. If this gentleman is originally from Canada, we heard that he built a $5 million income in a business in Canada. Then he moved he's in Thailand at the minute. I suppose with the feet up, but he's come out of retirement for this. He's going to go full hog at Daisy. When I call him, I don't even have to think what time is it for Frank. It doesn't matter. I call and he answers. There's maybe three times he didn't answer, and he's back to me in 10 minutes because he's on another call. This gentleman is amazing. His amazing attitude. He's amazing positivity. When things aren't going wrong, the negatives go up. Don't put them into your team. Well, Frank gets all the hassles. Frank gets all the problems, and he handles it so easy. I know. I just tease him all the time, and I'm delighted that he's my introducer to the program. And Kevin is his, and you can see the whole rank, and Jeremy is his, and you can see that we're working together collectively with the Daisy Diamonds here. It's my pleasure to introduce you to the legend, the one and only Mr. Frank Varon. Frank, welcome to the call.
Thank you very much, Hugh. It's, you know what, I was just listening to what you said, and you said we had no time to put this together. I thought tonight's content was sensational, and you're right, we put it together in an hour. Can you imagine what's going to happen when the next time we do this? I mean, there was, like, as you said, zero preparation, and we knocked it right out. And, the only problem I'm having with Daisy right now is I can't seem to be able to sleep. But other than that, everything is great. All right, folks, I'm going to do my best here just to take it home in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and thank you all for joining us. I thought I'd take a look at this a little bit differently and let you see it through my eyes. So for me, Daisy represents a real revolution of change. And so I want to explain that a little bit. Daisy is comprised of not one, not two, but actually three paradigm shifts. And for those that don't know what a paradigm shift, it's actually defined as an important change that happens. I'm reading this now because it's right out of the dictionary. An important change that happens every few decades when the usual way of thinking about or doing something is replaced by a new or different way. So in other words, every 10, 20, 30 years, we look at and we completely change the way we approach something. It's almost like a mini revolution. So what are these three paradigm shifts? Well, the first one is capitalization. So this is how a company, a corporation, a project raises money to pursue their projects. And used to be, traditionally, it was banks, venture capitalists, or you'd go public, an initial public offer, an IPO, initial public offering on the stock market. And that was the traditional way. But now capitalization includes crowdfunding, which has helped raise, and it's an incredible number, 40 billion in the last 12 months, 40 billion in crowdfunding. So this is just in the past year, and Daisy is a crowdfund. So we're part of that paradigm shift. Paradigm shift number two is cryptocurrency. I don't have to say too much about that. You heard from experts tonight, but it's completely redefined finance in the last decade, right? I mean, you talk about a shift. This is a massive one. And I'll give you a perfect example. Everybody's heard of Bitcoin. But if you were lucky enough to invest only $100, tier one, folks, tier one, $100 in Bitcoin about 10 and a half years ago when it started. Today, that $100 would be worth $365 million. $100 to $365 million in 10 years. So that speaks for itself, right? That absolutely speaks for itself. That's the other paradigm shift. And then number three, that's part of who we are, is artificial intelligence. And it's changing the way human beings are going to live for the next century. That, it's the power to make extraordinarily complex calculations and decisions virtually instantly, like at the speed of light. And nowhere is that more relevant than in a company like Endertech, where there's unbelievably, incredibly complex algorithms are applied in their trading platforms, and the results are truly spectacular. And I mean, they are unparalleled. You just have to look at the statistics. So when we combine these three paradigm shifts, it actually creates a revolution, a paradigm revolution, which in turn creates a disruption. Now, you've heard that word tonight several times. So here we go again. It's beginning to sound like a recurring theme, because once every few years, a company comes along and changes an industry forever. They disrupt that industry, and that's why we call them disruptors, right? So Let's look at some examples of disruptors. We all know who they are. You may have even seen a couple already tonight. But Google, of course, search engines. Amazon, online shopping changed everything, right? Facebook, really they're the creators of social media. And social media created a whole new world. Airbnb disrupted hospitality. Uber and ride sharing disrupted transportation. You now could hail a cab with your telephone. Netflix, of course, changed going to the movies and home entertainment. And now all these companies became multi-billion-dollar behemoths, but I mean monsters. But what did it really do for us? What did we get out? Not much. Some convenience and maybe some cost savings. But now all of that has changed with the launch of Daisy, because Daisy is the decentralized artificial intelligence system. And for the first time in history, capitalization, crowdfunding, cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence, and fintech. Fintech, I didn't cover that, but that's financial technology, and that's what the realm of, that's where Endotech, that's their slot. That's what they do. They're all combined for the first time to create a paradigm shift, which has become a revolution. Look, in 4 days, this past week, in 4 days, we watched as history week. Nobody's actually, you have to write this down to figure it out. We watched as all the records of a 100-year-old, $100 billion industry were shattered in 4 days. In 4 days, we'd already reached $50 million. I mean, these numbers are incredible. These numbers are incredible. In the first day, in the first 24 hours, we hit 30 million. That's $1.25 million per hour. Then as 52,000 people joined in those 4 days, that's 13,000 people a day with, those of you on this call know, a broken system. Okay, let's review this. All the records of a 100-year-old, $100 billion industry were shattered with a broken system in 4 days. Now, I got to repeat it. All the records of a 100-year-old, $100 billion industry were decimated in 4 days by a busted system. How is that possible? And now we get to do it again because apparently we didn't do enough damage the first time. No, we didn't get enough done the first time around. Now we're going to relaunch on a rocket. So we're about to break all the records that we just broke. We just broke, and now we're going to break them again. And we haven't even factored in Endotech, folks. I haven't said a word about 800% average annual returns. I haven't factored in what's going to happen when Aunt Molly contributes, suppose $1,000 to Daisy crowdfund, and a year later it might be worth $8,000. Oh my God. It's almost impossible to really gauge it. And you know, folks, if you've ever said, gee, I wish I could have, you know, you see people winning a lottery. I wish I could be that lucky. I wish I could be lucky enough to win a lottery. I wish something could happen to me that would change my life forever. Well, folks, you don't have to wish anymore because it has happened. It's happened to you. It's happened to me. It's happened to every single one of us. We've won the lottery. This is the one. This is the one. And honestly, just to wrap this, folks, I mean, I couldn't be prouder than I am right now. I mean, we're working, I'm literally 24 and a half hours. We're working around the clock. I've never had so much fun in 25 years. I couldn't be prouder to be with this group of leaders, to be with this team, to be in this opportunity together as we march together. I mean, we're going into a future that's hard to fathom. Or as my good friend Hugh-Paul says, as we march together in this 21st year of the 21st century, we are marching into a brilliant future for all of our families. Anyway, I'm done. Thank you very much for spending a couple of minutes with me. It's been an honor. Honestly, folks, it's been an honor. And I look forward to serving you and continuing to serve you. And with that, sir, I hand it back to you, Mr. Hugh-Paul.
Well, Frank, again, it's Thailand. I guess it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, or what time is it with you, Frank?
It is 5:03 a.m., which is exactly 24 and a half hours since I woke up this morning.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it, but
can't sleep.
Yeah. Okay, that's fantastic. So guys, we've had a fantastic session, and there's certain parts that will resonate with you. There's other parts you're unclear. It's a matter of rehearing them again, taking notes, putting those notes into practice, teaching your groups who couldn't make the call. I learned this, I learned this. When you share that with your team, you're internalizing that, and you're becoming part of the movie here. You're becoming part of the Daisy phenomenon. And I want to leave you just with one thought, what you should do now. In the next day or two, as we've time to build, use this time wisely. You will be so happy if you really think about starting all over again, and a new front line and a new 24 people. And what I'm teaching the team is shoot for the pacemaker. That is the building block. There's always a building block in a business, and we can say 3 by 3 by 3 is a building block, but I have people shooting for pacemaker. We've heard a variety of numbers mentioned. We've heard 15 million, 30 million, 50 million in 4 days. Let's talk about $20 million. Let's talk about $20 million raised in the Daisy project in the first 24 hours, let's say that. And I want you to be mindful that there are 2 pace setters. There's 1.8% on the gold pace setter, and there's 1.8% bonus on the leadership pace setter. So what you should shoot for is both of these pools. Let's do this one first. Very, very simple. 1.8% of $20 million revenue is $360,000. So there's $360,000 in the first 24 hours to be shared with someone. Over here, it's the exact same number. There's $360,000 because it's 1.8% in the leadership pool. We've got 1.8% in the gold pace setter pool. Now, what we believe approximately in the first 24 hours, about 80 people qualified for that. 80 into 360 means these guys made $4,500 in 24 hours just for this one tiny bonus. Over here, I think only 6 people qualified. 6 into 360 is these guys, and Kevin missed it, got $60,000 in a day. And when you hear statements like there was 30 people made between 100,000 and $1 million, that's because these type of bonuses are available. How do you qualify? Simple, in a little box. Do whatever it takes to get 24 people to do $128,000. Whatever way that works out, you shoot for that in your first 30 days. 24 people, total contribution, 128,000, you're in. That's it, do it. And I believe because it was paying every second, they're going to change that to every hour. So the software doesn't time out. That's one of the edits. So that does it hourly instead of every second, because the smart contract was making all these payments and calculations. Now, how do you get into this one? Very simple. 3x. Find 3 people to do that, and you're in here. That's as simple as it is. Go do it and enjoy it. And I wish you great, great success, ladies and gentlemen, in the new Kickstart, in the new soft launch, which will come up very, very soon. Keep in touch with your upline, roll up your sleeves, get the list, and start presenting the business. Good night, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for all our contributors. Thank you for giving us your time, your very valuable time. Thank you so much to all the speakers. You're amazing. Thanks to our testimonies from our legends. And well done, guys. Thank you so, so much. Let's do this again in another 4 weeks. Let's get more pace setters. We want pace setters on the next one. And let's see who can raise to those ranks. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. Let's do it again. Bye-bye. Well done to all of you. Cheers.